football manager that still wants to be a football manager, but I have had a long career already as a manager, but I know that at some point I need to build something alongside my football. I always wanted to set something up to be able to develop a business that gives me some support and an opportunity to go beyond football. And I always liked the idea of something in the health industry. I've built a career in professional football management for 20 years. I want to be a manager still. I'm not going to risk that. I need to build a plausible business that helps people and there's a good product. Going back a couple of years, so Christmas 2019, skiing in Austria with a partner here, Adey Saunderson, and another friend, Ian Andrews. We're discussing things and the first time I hear about the words MBST, which is a magnetic resonance therapy. I've never heard about it before. So I'm asking a few questions and then I find out that it's a treatment that's been available in Germany for quite a few years. It's used a lot in sport. The timing of that, along with the thought that at some point in the near future I want to open some kind of clinic, those two bits together, learning about MBST, my friendship with Adey Saunderson, who was my head physio at Exeter for a number of years, all those things together prompted me to open at the Core Clinic in Bath. But also we could add something else to our repertoire, which is this unique, contemporary German medical innovation that we could bring here. There were one or two clinics already in the UK, but not many, that we could bring here to the UK, here to Bath, and that would give us an instant USP. As a football manager, I've spent years in the boardroom, talking money, talking players, answering the question from the chairman or the chief exec, how much money sat in the stand this weekend? Anything that I could find that could get players back on the pitch quicker, my ears would prick up and I would listen. And I'm challenging my physiotherapists, the doctor, the club, sports science. I'm always challenging, when can I get players back quicker? Everything starts with people. I knew that I could work with Adey. I employed him at Exeter for 4 years. I knew I could trust him. I knew that he was incredibly invested into making people better, and he gave everything he possibly could to give the player the best chance to being as fit as early as possible. It had to be the personal physiotherapist side of our business, as well as all the treatments, but MBST particularly. It's a very easy to use system, non-invasive, there's no medication, there's no injections, there's no surgery. So if you're an athlete or you're a professional sportsman, you don't have to, it doesn't knock you out of your daily life for a month. You don't have to rest up afterwards. You can carry on with your treatment. It runs alongside the modalities and forms of recovery. You can do physio alongside it, you can do exercise alongside it. It just fits in, it just helps the body recover quicker.
The good thing about MBST is that it's so easy to use. The person having them sits on a bed and there's no pain, there's no negative side effects, there's no invasive technique used, and they're not putting anything inside their body. It's just sit on the magnetic resonance machine, wait for the 60 minutes to be over, and then go about your day. MBST essentially uses something called magnetic resonance therapy, which is akin to a normal MRI. It's about 10,000 times less powerful. You have two electrode panels either side of the joint that's trying to be treated, and they emit magnetic frequencies. The wavelengths pass through our bodies and interact with the cells within our bodies. Then you get a type of energy transfer because of the polarities of different molecules. And there's what's called a cellular proliferation phase, an excitation of our sort of natural healing process. But it also interacts and dampens down some of our main inflammatory markers, which, when we see an inflamed joint, whether it's osteoarthritis or whether it's post-surgery, and we take a circumference measurement, we treat people with the post-surgical treatment sessions or with the osteoarthritis, we see a reduction in inflammation size around that joint, having done nothing else. We get people coming in who are they've tried rehab, they've tried physiotherapy, they don't want surgery, and we sit right there and you can take some pain away, reduce inflammation, and then say, and we combine that then with exercise programs for strengthening and for functional quality of life, the effects that we're getting are reduction in pain and a reduction in inflammation. The exciting thing is that the research coming out for it is starting to support that quite rapidly, and in our eyes, that's a really special thing.
When you're a footballer and you get injured, the main thing is, when am I back? It's your first thought when you're injured. Even when you're lying on the floor injured, you're thinking, how long is this going to be? So if there's anything that you can do to shave that time off, you're willing to try anything. I pulled my hamstring in a game on a Saturday. I had a grade 2B, had a scan, grade 2B, physio said 6 to 8 weeks. Tiz said, would I like to come down and use the MBST machine? I said, never heard of it, but yeah, definitely. When you hear something new, you want to learn a bit more about it before you go and chuck yourself in a machine. But everything that I read and everything I heard was good, and the top boys out in Germany are all using it, so I thought, why not? Tiz runs the clinic. I know he's got good knowledge about stuff, and his physio aid, he's got the medical side of stuff. So I just came down and sat on this machine here so I had a course of a week, so it was 7 days. Each session was an hour, so I just had to sit in the machine, positioned around my hamstring, and just sat there. I could read a book, look at my phone, just chill out basically. You're expecting some noise and maybe some lights. There was a flashing light on that, but you turned it off. But yeah, and you don't really care, as long as you get better, as long as you can see the after effects of it. After 2 or 3 sessions, I started to feel a little bit better, and after the week, I felt good. I could have probably come back a little bit earlier than I did, but in the end, the injury lasted about 3.5 weeks till I was back training again. So I'd say it shaved a good 2.5 weeks off. If I had any other injuries, any muscular injuries, I would call Tiz and say, can I come down and use the machine? It's 100%.
20-year career, very lucky with injuries. Only actually had 1 knee operation right at the end of my career. The thing being that what your body goes through during those number of games, number of sessions, comes out at a later date. I say to people that when I retired playing, about 38 years of age, my body was probably 58 and my brain was 28. I had my first hip operation probably about 5 or 6 years ago in Exeter. I was told at the time, that one needs doing now, but the other one will need doing. And that's how I linked up with, at the core, Adey gave me some tests, and I decided to get involved with the magnetic resonance therapy. So yeah, I'm going through a series of treatments. I'm very, very appreciative of the PFA, the Players Union, for backing me on this treatment. If you're going to someone for advice, be it a solicitor, an accountant, a physiotherapist, there's no point in going there if you don't trust what's happening. So I've obviously put my trust in at the core. I'm happy to be part of this.
It feels great to help people, especially professional sportsmen that want to get back playing quicker, or they've had the effects of a long career on their body. We've been running a year now. We've had almost 100 patients, and a vast majority of those patients have had very positive results for a whole spectrum of different conditions. We've got a clinic here. We've got a physiotherapy clinic with all sorts of different modalities. We've got a physio from football, so Adey's been in the EFL for a number of years. It's great to have something that we can help fellow professionals with. We'd like to offer it to more and more people and be part of putting something back into football.
Football for Football, the leading independent football resource, carry out impartial research on products and services used in the game. All opinions are our own or that of the professional players, coaches and experts we work with.